Welcome to another edition of Bowie TV's Youth, Community, and Lifestyle. During this hour, we're bringing you highlights from some of our shows focused on youth, community, and lifestyle. Please be sure to give us a follow on all of our social media platforms. First up on How to Steam Your Dreams, watch the invigorating finals matchup from Day 2 of the 2025 DMV Capital Region Championship. On the Spotlight DMV, Cyndi Narcisso sits down to discuss the upcoming Wineries Without Walls event on this final part. And on Yellow Couch Stories, former Tennessee State Senator Katrina Robinson sits down for an honest conversation on leadership and public service. Thank you for tuning into this week's programming of Bowie TV's Youth, Community, and Lifestyle.
Ocean Bowl Games is presented by Steam Your Dreams and based upon the Steam XR Sports model, where the kids play brain games using STEM and STEM-based projects to test the brain power, and then playground games to keep them physically active and moving. And then third, but not least, they play e-gaming and esports, where we assess and they earn powers for every game they play on the screen. And today's e-gaming tournament that was brought to you by AstraZeneca. We see that the champions the Clawbacks clawed out of that bracket, and then Skippity Diabolical made it out of the junior bracket. That's what it means by the blue pot P_P, the primary age kids. Let's go 2025 Esports Finals, Aquaball League, Red Pot Signal Finals. We got the Clawbacks versus Skippity Diabolical, and then the Crimson Clownfish versus the Vipers of the Deep. This is a safe place for kids to play, learn, and create. That's Steam XR Sports. This is Ocean Bowl Games number 4. Let's go!
Looking for a clear path to advancing your career? Together, we make it happen. The universities at Shady Grove. With nearly 80 degree programs from 9 universities on one campus. You don't have to go far to get ahead. USG offers an affordable, convenient way to earn your bachelor's or master's with smaller class sizes, internships, guidance, and support. The universities at Shady Grove. Together, we make it happen.
Right, say mindset and focus. I got that? All right, any coaches? So, this has been a very tough battle. Y'all been fighting, strategy, intensity. What's your advice at the last second before we go into our final championship?
Staying humble. Like, you need to stay humble, show the respect, and show them the rule.
Yeah. All right, red team, come up for the red team. Red team, come up for the red team. Blue team. Coach, come on down. We got a couple of questions for the coach. All right, coach. So, listen. Remember the red team said, stay serious, but stay humble, and they're a champion. What do you give them advice to get ready for this major championship?
That was our motto when we came here. We was humble and we made it to the finale. So we're gonna continue doing that and we're gonna focus and we're gonna win.
All right. And why do you think this team is more equipped to win the championship?
Because we have great chemistry and we love each other.
Wow, great chemistry. That's great.
The most exciting time in sports is when you hear the words Final Four. In the Red Pod semifinals and from the Blue Pod, they're going to be playing the game Alcohol League. Alcohol League is a scholastic esports video game title for kids, built to be safe, fun, and competitive. Scholastic esports, meaning this game uses brain power, not violence. It's all about thinking, problem solving, and teamwork to help you unlock power-ups and gain advantages in the game. What is Aquaball? Aquaball comes from the Ocean Bowl series. It's an imaginative world where marine animals compete in seasonal sports. The goal is simple. You gotta score goals or get buckets. Goal! Players compete in water, passing, throwing, and shooting different types of balls. You can play with a football, a basketball, or a soccer ball. You choose. It's less like soccer and more like water polo. It's fast, it's fluid, and it's all about movement, positioning, and teamwork. Let's meet the Aquaball stars. First up is Gibby, a cephalopod guard with incredible reach, strong defense, and smart ball control. Gibby excels at grabbing, passing, and disrupting plays. Next is Echo, fast, offensive-minded dolphin who thrives on speed, jumping, and quick attacks. Echo is built for players who like to stay on the move. Then there's Digit, another cephalopod guard who specializes in tackling or ink-based disruption and controlling space. Digit is perfect for smart, strategic players. Each Aquaball star plays differently, and knowing their strengths matters. How you move and play. Let's check out the movements. It's simple, it's intuitive. You go vertically, jump, you hit the ball with X and B to pass or shoot the ball. You hold down LB to grab and control the ball in the water. Advanced team power-ups are activated with the left and right triggers, while Y activates each character's special natural ability. Easy to learn, plenty of depth. Now, those team powers and brain power. This is where the scholastic part comes in. Players unlock their team powers by competing and completing math challenges and cryptograms and puzzles in the featured Ocean Bowl magazine called The Legend of Quickie the Kid. These activities promote reading, problem solving, and summer learning. Once unlocked, teams can use power-ups like icebergs that block part of the goal, or they can use an earth shield that fully protects the goal for a short time. Aquaball League takes place across the Isles of Atlantis, featuring aquatic seaports, lagoons, and vibrant underwater arenas. This world began with Jay and Odin, and it continues through seasonal play, and then playoffs, and then ultimately the Ocean Bowl Championship. Success comes from teamwork. It's going to be about fast. Characters like sharks and dolphins are great for speed, but cephalopods excel at ball control, passing, and special abilities like ink shots. This is what all kids love to do, and gaming brings community together. And that's what we are. Ocean Bowl Games, number 4. Let's go. Esports Finals. Know your Aquaball star, communicate with your team, play smart. It's time to get in the game. You got next, Aquaball League.
Every player on the team is going to get to play. This first round they're going to play, it will be the first to win 2 games. The first to win 2 games.
Now, I need everybody to think real quick. I don't know if you know this, but over time, If you have it, let me see your magazine.
Let me see your magazines.
Let's see your magazine. Let me see your magazine. Yep.
We're not gonna tell the code out loud, they won't see it on the screen, but.
I'll have to do a little bit of running around, but it's alright. Okay, I have, let's see.
Well, I'm telling you right now, red pie.
We didn't go through that much. We should have on the screen.
Red pie does not have a code.
Are you ready? Yes. Legit pie, are you ready? That's the semifinal.
This is the semifinal, so how many minutes?
3 minutes, but 5 goals to win. So nobody touching.
5 goals, nobody touch anything yet.
Big count, and we're just round 1 of the semifinal.
It's Shark Week and Om is taking it to the hole.
This game is about safe fun. Knuckleball League was designed with intention and purpose to get kids excited about e-gaming in a fun, competitive, non-violent sports experience. It's built for youth ages 8 to 14, but it's enjoyable for everyone. You talk about Knuckleball League is inspired by the Ocean Bowl series, a universe focused on environmental science, conservation, and being an eco-friendly citizen. In this imaginative world, dolphins and other marine animals compete in knuckleball throughout their season. When the season ends, the top teams advance to the Ocean Bowl playoffs. And then it all boils down to the grand finale in the Ocean Bowl Championship.
High in the air to feel like a basketball game. Keep the ball in the air.
With Justin Graves as the lead UX engineer, focused on accessibility, positive competition, and easy learning curves. This is esports built for schools, programs, and families.
Don't touch anything. Put the control down, please. Put the control down. Focus. Look at me. It's not over. Okay? It's not over. You already switched your player?
Yep.
All right. And which one of you guys gonna switch out? Okay. Good job. Good job, y'all.
You can see it on their faces before they say a word. The shoulders struck, the eyes down, hands fidgety. It's that silence right after the buzzer, at the hardest sound in the room. So game one evidently didn't go as well as it always does for a lot of us, how we wanted. And some of these kids, this is the first time they felt that kind of loss, with people watching, with teammates counting them on. As a coach and as a father, that moment hits different. Because you don't want to lie to them. You don't want to say it's fine when you know it hurts. And you don't want to harden them so fast that they forget how to feel. The kids are still soft, still fighting and figuring things out themselves. Some of them are tough already, and some of them, they break a little quicker. And that's okay. I think about my own kids wrestling on the floor, jumping off the couch onto my back, laughing and falling, getting back up. And we know that girls and boys are different. Boys, sometimes need that kind of hard, but through the movement and through the pressure, through contact with the ground and the people who love them enough to let them try again. What they need in this moment is not a lecture, not a speech. They need presence. They need someone to kneel down, look them in the eyes, and say without words first, I'm right here. Because especially for young black boys, the world doesn't give them the space to feel disappointed without feeling and being labeled. Too emotional, too aggressive, too much. But here in this room, in this space, at universities, at Shady Grove, at Ocean Bowl games, we teach them something different. We teach them that it's okay to feel it, to feel the loss, feel the frustration, feel the fire in your chest, but just don't let it control you. We talk about composure, about sportsmanship, about knowing the rules, about knowing the situation. Because the truth is, it's only game one. In this league, if you understand the system, you stay locked in and you trust each other, work with your teammates, get the support from your people, you can come back. And that's the lesson. It's not just a game. And this is not just about the game here. It's about life. You're gonna fall down sometimes. You're gonna get beat up. You're gonna get that hit early. You're gonna doubt yourself. But when the scoreboard doesn't reflect the work you put in, it's never really over until you decide it is. This video game is more than just a video game. It's fast and it's intense. It can be a lot to handle. This environment, this space, Ocean Bowl games, yes, it's intense. But it's very much so fun. They love it. They get locked in. And what makes this moment matter even more is that we slowed everything down in that small window of time to remind them to keep your head up, breathe, reset, recognize what went wrong, design a plan, and come back fighting. Not angry, not reckless, but intentional. It's about resilience and getting them to tap into learning about their grit, learning how to stand back up with dignity. And they'll remember this feeling. Because that's what we're building here, not just players, not games. Young people who know how to fall forward, how to fight clean, how to become the best version of themselves. Game one is over, but the story isn't. This is Ocean Bowl Games. And I'm Roman Montego. This is Steve XR Sports.
Guys, it's your girl Rose with the Spotlight DMV, and we are back with another episode of Behind the Event, where we introduce you to the people and stories behind some of the DMV's most exciting experiences. Today, we're celebrating an event that's already making waves before the doors even open. The inaugural Wineries Without Walls, sponsored by Maryland Wineries Association and organized by Narciso Wine Cellar, is officially sold out. Listen, don't hit me up for tickets. I don't have any. It's sold out. I've been sharing this event for months now. Do not hit me up. So joining me is someone who is no stranger to the Spotlight DMV. Cyndi Campbell, co-founder of Narciso Wine Cellar, has been a friend of the Spotlight DMV family for years. And it's been a joy watching her continue to grow, innovate, and champion the Maryland wine community. And not just Cyndi, but also her co-founder, Dahlia, as well. Cyndi, welcome back, and congratulations on what's already shaping up to be an incredible inaugural event. Yay!
Oh my gosh, what an intro. Thank you so much, Rose, for having us. And, it's been truly a joy for us to have you be a part of our journey as well. So we are excited to be here.
Yes. And so, I'm a Maryland girl. I'm a Prince George's County girl. And so I'm just excited that this event is taking place right here in our county. But for those who may be meeting you for the first time, even though you've been on here quite some time, they may not know your full story. So give us a refresher on Narciso Wine Cellar and what inspired you and Dahlia to start this journey.
Wow. So, Narciso Wine Cellar, again, is a boutique winery. Our owners are Dahlia and I. And so it is a boutique winery that produces 100% Maryland wines. In terms of our story, how much time do you have? Sure. So our family is originally from the Caribbean coast of Nicaragua, specifically Bluefields, and where there is a tradition of making fruit wines to share with family and friends during the holidays. That includes orange wines, cashew wines, etc. And so our dad used to make those wines to do exactly that, share with family and friends. So that was our first introduction to wines. And then fast forward to about maybe 10 years ago, Dahlia became an empty nester and wanted to continue that tradition of sharing with family and friends. Little does she know that, I had something else in mind. So I started asking her, I'm like, hey, family and friends are really enjoying this. This should be a business. And she had zero interest in doing that. But obviously, here we are today.
Here we are.
Able to convince her to do this. And so that's how we got started, by just wanting to expand, if you will, our family. Now it's not just, our dad and our mom and, our neighbors in Nicaragua, but it was now, let's make this a bigger table and invite more folks to come along and enjoy just some good tasting wine.
No, I absolutely love that. And for those of you who do not know Dahlia, I call her the mad scientist. Because she's always in the lab mixing up the different grapes and how to, the way that you guys do things.
Yes, she definitely comes up with the profiles and try to figure out, what can we do that is, in a way, traditional in making the wines, but then non-traditional profiles.
Yes,
so definitely.
Yes, and then one of the faves and one of your original Midnight, that also has such a beautiful story that brings along Bluefields in a bottle and in what you're sharing in the profile and in what it's all about. So tell us a bit about Midnight. I love that one. I love the story.
Well, I hope I tell it right for Dahlia's sake. But Midnight is one that is kind of the nearest and dearest to our heart because one, it is first kind of a nod to our dad in that he was making, would make fruit wines. And so when we started making wines, Midnight was like, okay, we want to have something that represents a bit of Bluefields and that tradition of, you know, the during May, during the month of fertility and the rainy season home and just the whole backstory about how that plays into the culture of Bluefields. And so it's a month where we celebrate again. Fertility is also a month where we are talking about, harvest, the rainy season,
Yeah.
everything. And so one of the traditions is having maple, right? It's a celebration for the entire month of May. And so we also call it, Tulululu, right? Is a traditional dance that we do where it connects the neighborhoods, some of the older neighborhoods in Bluefields. One of the celebrations, which lasts seems like forever, all night, everyone is having fun partying, is forming like this community that gets together and goes from one neighborhood to the next by forming this, a tunnel or an arc, if you will, where people are dancing and it happens, all the way past midnight, really. And so that sense of community
Yeah.
is what really inspired us to name this wine Midnight, right? If Daya was here, she'll say, well, you cut off the name, Cyndi, because it was supposed to be a longer name. It was supposed to mean Midnight at Tulululu. But I'm like, I don't know how all of that would fit on a bottle, but on the label. But Midnight really now embodies everything that we really try to share with our community here. That it
Yeah.
is about sharing that experience. It is about getting together. It is about working together. And then just being able to just sit back and relax. So Midnight is one of our faves, and it has proven to be the fave of many other people as well. And so we definitely will be pouring that this Sunday.
Oh man, I cannot wait. And as you talk about the story and everything that I know about you, one thing that I've always appreciated about Narciso is that you've never been focused on just your own winery. Even coming into it, you started it with a circle of friends and family, and now you are a champion for Maryland, for Maryland wines, for the other local businesses that are out here. And so let's just go into how you came to partner with Maryland Wineries Association to even put this event on. And what I love, the name I love the name Wineries Without Walls. And that signifies something very special. But, if you're from the DMV area, DC also had School Without Walls,
Yes.
which was a place where people that think creatively
Yes.
would attend school there. And so, that signified the name. So talk to us about the name and how it all came about.
Well, so the name, let's see. So this event really grew out of a simple question. Like, so how do we create opportunities for producers who don't have the same visibility as wineries with a tasting room? How do we do that? As a winery without walls ourselves, our philosophy and our business model has always been that we would go and reach out to our consumers and, if you will, bringing the wine, kind of the tasting room experience to you, right? So that's been our model, connecting always with our community. And so I said, well, why can't we do this on a larger scale? Why is it that now that the Maryland Wineries Association has members with similar model as ours as boutique wineries, no, we don't have a vineyard for you to visit, that, and a tasting room, but it doesn't mean that we can't give you that experience. So the Wineries Without Walls is basically a first of its kind, experience created in partnership with the Maryland Wineries Association. We are part of the Maryland Wineries Association. And the purpose was really to shine a spotlight, if you will, on on Maryland's wineries and cideries and meaderies that don't have that traditional tasting room. So the name is a play on words, because it literally means the meaning of not having, right, a tasting room, but also a mindset, to tear down those barriers that kind of hinders us from like connecting with consumers, and just inviting everyone to have an open mind to learn about what these wineries have to offer. There may be something new, something innovative. So that is kind of the whole concept of the Wineries Without Walls, is to bring everyone together. Uh, but particularly also with that, the collaboration that you mentioned, right?
Yes.
That this is also an event that is not just about the poor, it's also about creating opportunities. So we wanted to work together with other industries. So whether that is hospitality, but more importantly, focusing on making those connections with local restaurants, with the venue. So all of this was very intentional in making sure that we were keeping it within our community. And that way, we collaborate and we all work together, because I do believe that is how we are able to succeed.
Yes. Well, and there's so many themes running through what you just talked about. But of course, the overarching too that I'm hearing, and especially because I'm a part of a lot of different organizations, same as yourself. And, to really benefit from being a part of an
Mm-hmm.
organization, a community, whatever it is that you're a part of, it requires you to be engaged.
Absolutely.
And it requires you to show up, to bring your ideas, to step up and say, hey, not only do I have an idea, but I want to make this happen. So who wants to come along for the ride?
Yeah, for
Yes.
sure. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I absolutely agree with that. You can join an organization, you can say you pay your dues, you do whatever, but if you're not active, if you don't contribute, then what are you really doing with that, right?
Yeah.
For us, being a part of the Maryland Wineries Association has really been a huge help in terms of being one, just gaining access to resources, right? But more importantly, two, being a part of a community where
Yes.
you can learn from each other. And then, as you mentioned, now that we're here, we have access to these resources, we're making these connections. Now, what can we do to contribute, right, to the industry? And so it is something that you have to be intentional about it. And this event was something that has been an idea that I had a while ago, but to me, it was just basically taking what we were already doing, specifically with Narciso, to then say, okay, let's just scale this up, and so that we can do this and bring other wineries to be a part of it as well.
Yes, exactly. And that is exactly how you've grown,
Yes.
Narciso, from the beginning, and not rushing to. And I think that's a piece of it too, because when we are experiencing so much success, sometimes you have to be very intentional about, how do I see this growing, and what can I really sustain? What can
Yes.
I really sustain? Like, I just had a conversation about that, about being ready for the growth,
Yes.
and sometimes we have to be very honest with ourselves, because it can look attractive to let's go and hit that gas. And sometimes you just have to step back and see where am I really trying to grow? And so what I really like is the collaboration piece,
Mm-hmm.
and so let's segue into that and into some of the other folks you're bringing along for the ride. Well, first and foremost, I want to talk about the venue because
Yes.
it is a beautiful venue that is here in Prince George's County. It
Yes.
is new. So
Mm-hmm.
tell us about that.
So in terms of the venue, it's Celebrations Event Rentals. And so they have several spaces. The main one that started out in Bowie, but then, as you mentioned, they recently opened up a larger venue uh, in Upper Marlboro, and that is at Celebrations at the Barn House. And it's really a beautiful event space. And so, to what you were saying earlier about collaboration and those relationships and partnerships, we have been working with them and collaborating since day one. So literally, we did our launch at their space, their smaller room, and then we had our 1 year anniversary in the larger space. And so I guess it makes sense that now we're in their even larger space for this event. So we've grown along with them as well, but they've always been super, supportive. Hasey Garcia and her family have been super supportive always, and so we were just really excited to be able again to continue that journey together. By now, not only did they just like open their new event space, but this is also an inaugural event, so it's a first for both of us. So we're excited to be working with them again.
What a testimony to the work that you have put in, but not just that, how you are able to partner with people and that seed will grow, honey. No, I love it. Girl, you are I just admire everything about what you and Dahlia embody, just seeing the journey and also being a part of it, watching it grow and telling the story and talking about how you're bringing these people along. So, so let's talk about some of the other partners that'll be there. There are other wineries,
Yes.
and so talk to us about who's going to be there.
Well, in terms of the other participating wineries, there will be 9 of us together. So we have Bobisa Wines, and they are definitely brand new. But the owners, Derek, they make a mead wine, which it is really, really good. So I am really excited for like folks to try that out. Then there is Kingfisher Cellars, and they too make mead. So you'll have different flavors, if you will. And that's the thing that I really enjoy about wines anyway, that even if we make the same varietal, if Vidal grows really well, for example, in Maryland. So even if I make a Vidal and you make a Vidal, the profile will be different. It'll taste different. And so that's what I love about that. So I'm excited about having both of them there so we can get different flavors of mead. And then we have Misfit Winery also that will be there. Operations Bubbles will be there. So they have a bubbly a red, which would be really, really fun to be able to try that out. And then we have also Rose Garden Wines that is here in Prince George's County as well. And we have 722 Wine Company, the Cross Vines, Tipsy Teacher. I think some folks have probably seen them at festivals. So we'll definitely have a lot of wines for you to sample and hopefully not only get some of the regulars that you already enjoy, but discover something new, which reflects.
So, the Yellow Couch Stories is a 25th National Presidential Initiative of NAMBPWC Incorporated, an organization founded in 1935 by 7 visionary Black women entrepreneurs with a mission to promote and protect the interests of African American business and professional women while advancing leadership, economic empowerment, and legacy. Today's guest embodies what it means to lead, fall forward, and to reclaim power in a second chapter. Joining us on the yellow couch is the Honorable Katrina Robinson, former Tennessee State Senator, award-winning entrepreneur, high-profile crisis consultant, okay, Olivia Pope, philanthropist, and founder of institutions that have transformed access to education and workforce development in the Black community. Katrina's journey spans entrepreneurship, public service, media advocacy, and restoration. She is a woman who has built systems, navigated scrutiny, and emerged with clarity, courage, and purpose, using her lived experience to help others protect their voice, their work, and their economic future. Today, we'll explore her story at the intersection of economic development, economic power, empowerment, resilience, and second chances, and what it truly means to protect Black women's professional lives in systems that were designed to never protect us and never had us in mind. Honorable Robinson, welcome to the Yellow Couch Stories. We are so honored to have you.
Thank you so much. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited about this conversation.
Yes, and we're excited to have you. I cannot wait to get started. So let me ask you this. So before the titles, which include Senator, Entrepreneur, Crisis Consultant, who was Katrina Robinson before the world was watching, and what did your upbringing in Memphis teach you about power, survival, and responsibility?
So, being from Memphis, the saying goes in any city, really, if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere.
Yeah.
Memphis is that city. So I was born and raised in Memphis. My mom worked as a single mom all the time. So I kind of bounced around between family. My dad was a coach. He's a basketball coach and a salesman, but he coached some of the greatest basketball players to ever come out of Memphis.
Oh, wow.
But I always walked to the beat of my own drum from a very small child up until adulthood. So I graduated high school, the youngest in my class, went off to Xavier University, thought I was going to be a plastic surgeon, and life happened.
Okay.
Yes, life happened. I had a child very early on in college, so I left college and kind of tried to figure out life in between. And ended up in the sales force. I was in business sales for Conoco Minolta, for Bell South. I sold business-to-business sales. And it really just kind of shaped how I saw business, how I saw people, how I handled people. And that's really the foundation that allowed me to be able to survive the things that I've survived post that career. So when I was about 23, 24, my dad died from a stomach esophageal cancer. I had taken off my job to take care of him, and decided I was going to finish my education. Got my degree, started working in as a sales director for a gas company. I closed a $17 million deal for them, and they downsized all director level positions. So they left me with no job, a half-month severance pay.
After you had done make them $17 million?
Yes, ma'am. So I came back home to Memphis because it was based out of Philadelphia. I came back home to Memphis and decided I was going to go to nursing school. So I used my savings plus the unemployment I got from Philadelphia, and me and my kids made it because I went through an accelerated program, and I became a nurse. That was it.
That's a lifetime. No, you went through a lot for a young age.
Yes. Very, very fast.
Very fast track. So then what did you not see growing up that later motivated you to build what didn't exist?
So growing up, I was around a different, so many different chasms of people or cosms of people, I'm sorry. So I would go to the beauty shop and you see all the hot girls, the ones that had the flashy boyfriends, and they taught you the day-to-day life game. And then I would be around my mom's friends who were professional women who worked in corporate America. They did what had to be done to provide for their families. But I didn't see entrepreneurship. I didn't see women who actually led organizations or institutions. That was not something I was exposed to as a kid. As a matter of fact, I was a first-generation business owner. I didn't have a blueprint to follow.
So you had to kind of go to the school of hard knocks on learning that.
Absolutely. Learn as you go. Make it till you make it.
So you founded Tennessee's only Black-owned woman-owned licensed nursing school. Kudos to you.
Thank you.
What made you see education and workforce development as a pathway to economic liberation for Black communities?
Yeah, so I had that, that break when I was young, a young mother. I got to work in corporate America in sales and make good money at a young age. But when all the chips fell down and I was dependent on a man and I didn't have a job, it was back to square one. It was me and my kids sleeping in the car, pretending we're camping out. So I really understood that you had to have some type of foundation to sustain you in order to make it. And so when I became a nurse, I started working at an inner city hospital in Memphis. It was a teaching hospital, so I would meet people from all walks of life. And they all asked, like, how did you become a nurse? How did you do this? How did you do that? And I was like, well, maybe I should just put together a program to help people become CNAs. Right. So I wrote a curriculum, wrote the program, wrote a grant. The federal government gave me $2 billion to start the school, and we started the program. So to me, it was just, how do I create a pathway from nothing to 100 really quickly for somebody? And the solution is always going to be some type of skill, some type of certification, some type of trade, and CNA was it for me.
That's a whole testimony. I wish we could dive deeper in, because you said that you were living in a car with your...
I wasn't living in my car now. Wait. I ain't living in my car now. I ain't have it that hard. Praise God. But at some point, I remember we didn't have money for the light bill. So the lights were out in the house.
Okay.
It was the summertime. I couldn't tell my kids we didn't have lights. So I said, we're just going to camp out in the car tonight. We're having a sleepover in the car because we had air conditioning in the car.
Right.
So we stayed outside of the garage. I let the car run overnight, honey. We had air for that night. We slept at night. The next day, went to go see my aunt. She gave me my money for my light bill. Praise God for her.
It's still a testimony.
But I just know, when you're in those types of situations, there are a lot of people that don't have anybody to turn to. They don't have family. They don't have the resources. And so I just wanted to create a pathway where people can support themselves. Yeah.
I mean, I remember when, and she's going to be so mad for me saying this, me and my mom, at one point, we had to share a Happy Meal. Because, and it was, and of course, she went to her parents to get that help, but just imagine if she didn't. Right?
Yeah.
She ate the burger and I ate the fries when we were young. When I was younger, sharing that Happy Meal. But
a mother's love,
do
honey.
you hear me? It's thank God for Dr. Ford.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, mother's love goes deep. What's the difference between economic development that looks good on paper, right, and economic development that actually changes lives? Because some people will say, you know what, I'm gonna start this nursing school and it's gonna look good in Live Plan, my little business plan software. But how did you create something? What is that difference between something that looks good, an idea, versus something that you actually created, that you implemented?
I think the difference is something tangible. So we can talk about economic development and creating opportunity and workforce development and opportunity zones and all these things, all of these key terms. But if you don't create infrastructure that allows people to grow past their present, then it's not tangible.
Right.
So I had students who came to my school who could not read, could not even fill out the application. Oh, wow. I had a young lady who had 9 children by her high school sweetheart. They'd been married all this time. She didn't even know how to pay bills on her own. We created the opportunity for these women to learn not only how to become nurses, CNAs, phlebotomists, patient care techs, but to become self-sufficient with that income that they never had before. I have a student who I still talk to now. She had a disabled child. She was having trouble having someone in the house to take care of them because she was on state supplement. But now she's got a 4-bedroom house. Look, her child is well cared for. She's able to sustain herself. It's really just creating opportunity for people, not only creating it for them, but teaching them how to maximize it and how to sustain themselves based on that opportunity. Because you can give somebody, say, a stimulus check, or you can give them a grant, but once it's gone, it's gone.
It's not,
Then what? So to me, it's all about empowering people to be able to depend on themselves and not depend on anyone else.
I love that. You teach a man to fish.
Amen.
Yeah,
I can't hand you a fish plate, but I'll hand you a fishing reel.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
We'll teach you how to fish so you can eat forever.
Yes.
So, and you've done this. When you think about building institutions that serve Black communities, what responsibilities do leaders have to balance profitability with protection?
I think it's really in our community, one of the biggest problems we have is the what's in it for me mentality.
Yeah.
Or
Always.
that doesn't have anything to do with me mentality.
Yeah.
And what we don't understand is what affects one affects the whole.
Exactly.
So if I'm going through something, I'm not going to be the last to go through it.
Do you hear me?
There are going to be other people to
Yeah.
go through it. Where are you going to be when that happens? And I think we have to collectively have that type of mindset. It's one thing for one or two of us to try to lead that charge, but if
Yeah.
everyone doesn't have that mindset, then we're stuck
Right.
in a never-ending cycle. So yeah, I think it's really about being concerned about your fellow man.
And we could spend a whole segment.
Yeah.
I'm talking about, being responsible or even caring about your fellow man. Because a lot of times we don't do that. Like, I don't care about that person over there that's way over in California. I'm in Dallas. That does not affect me. But at the end of the day, it does.
We're seeing it right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Right now. We're seeing it right now from the White House down.
Yeah.
So you got to understand, it's not just them.
Yeah.
It's us. Yeah.
And we were having a meeting earlier today, and people were talking about foreign policy. And one lady made the comment, and she's actually appeared on the show. She said that, who the United States elects affects the entire world.
Absolutely.
And so I think people need to realize that even with foreign policy, what the United States does, it affects a lot of different countries. So you may sit here and think that what's going on over there doesn't affect you, it doesn't matter to you, but it does.
You just look at the tariffs. I mean,
exactly.
I went to the grocery store yesterday, and I was just looking at these prices. I'm like, this can't be. Is this real?
Yeah.
Is this real?
Yeah.
Things that used to cost 25 cents are now $3.
Yeah.
Is this overnight? Right. My daughter runs a hair business. Okay.
Yeah.
You can't even afford to import your hair because the tariffs are now 75% of what you paid on top of that. You get what I'm saying? So it's really about, can we even afford to live?
Exactly.
Can we afford to do business?
Yeah.
Can we afford to raise our children? Can we afford to feed those children?
Exactly.
And it matters because what happens here affects the entire world, and what happens in the world affects what's happening here. We don't live in silos.
It's gonna, no matter what. So you may think that what happens over there doesn't affect you, but it does.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
Be cognizant of that.
Yeah.
So at what point did you realize that economic empowerment isn't just about access, but about ownership, licensing, and control of systems?
So I think I've always known that.
Okay.
It's one thing to be able to open a door.
Yeah.
But to own the door is something totally different.
Well,
so
that's a whole word.
Yeah, if you say for instance this house that we're in right now. If I rented this house, I can enjoy it for the night.
Yeah.
I can sleep here for the night, but when the morning comes, I gotta go.
Yeah.
I can't leverage the value of the house.
Yeah.
I can't sell it and take the profit.
Yeah.
There's nothing in it for me in the long run. So it's very important to have ownership and responsibility for things, because access is one thing.
Right.
But the moment you, excuse my French, I don't know if we can say this, it's not even French. The moment you piss somebody off, that access is stripped. But if you own it, you can't take my access.
Well, and that, I've never heard that explained like that, but that is key. I love that explanation and feel comfortable to, be yourself.
No, because I can go with the best of them. Not on the yellow couch.
So what would you say to Black women who are highly credentialed but still feel economically vulnerable, right?
Yeah.
So we got that access. But we
got all these letters. We got the A, B, C, D, E, F, G behind our name. Right.
But you still, you still may be economically vulnerable because you don't have that ownership.
Yeah, I think it's really about education outside of your, traditional education.
Okay.
Learning about investments. Learning about how you can take your money to make money that makes money for you.
Exactly.
Because it's one thing to earn a paycheck.
Yeah.
Right. we can be masters of sciences, we can be doctors of philosophy, and depend on someone else to pay us every 2 weeks or every 30 days. But when you take that money and allow that money to make money for you, then you're switching. Like you're switching your long-term viability. So you can be vulnerable as long as you're at the hands of someone else.
Right.
But I think, you know, when you have certifications, when you have the education, it's all about what do I do to make myself the most marketable, and how do I maximize the potential of what I have as an asset to me. So yeah, you have people who are nurses who go and work 12-hour shifts, and they do it every day. They wait on their paycheck. But you also have people who are nurses who create nurse businesses, who consult for other people, who have home health care agencies. It's really about maximizing opportunity by creating all these different arms from what you have to work with.
And you know what? I think that does make you less vulnerable, right? Because if I'm a nurse and say I get fired, if I've already created 5 streams of income, you firing me, well, hey,
I'll be all right.
You just gave me
I'll wait for another contract.
You gave me some more time to concentrate on this other stuff.
Yes.
So you are less vulnerable, right? Because you got other things going on.
You have to diversify.
You got to.
You have to.
Yeah, you have to have multiple streams of income so that you aren't, you know, economically vulnerable. So for Black women building institutions inside regulated industries, what barriers are often invisible until you're already in the system?
You know, Black women are like unicorns. Everybody likes to look at us. We're so magical.
Yeah, and we are.
But once they get up on you, they don't know what to do with you, right? So then you become a threat.
Yeah.
You become the enemy.
Yeah.
And you know, sometimes we drink the Kool-Aid and we think that we're the best thing going to other people, and they make us feel that way. But when the rubber meets the road, you're out the door.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people can get caught up in that to where they miss the mission for themselves. For me, it's really being in an environment where you have to watch your back at all angles, right?
Always.
Yes.
You always got to cover your...
Yes. And, you know, sometimes we can become what I like to call the corporate mammy. Like we do the hard work, we do the heavy lifting for people. When something goes wrong, they want us to fix it.
Right.
But the moment we speak up for ourselves, we're angry, right? So those are some of the barriers that you come across, because you have to walk the fine line between being someone who can assert themselves for the good of the order and someone who is seen as aggressive or angry or combative because you speak up for yourself. So those are some of the barriers, because, you know, if you're an educated Black woman, you're already a threat. Already a threat in any environment. And sometimes among ourselves. So you really have to be cognizant of the people who are there for you and who are there for the mission.
And you know what, and funny that you mentioned that. I have a friend who was a VP or a marketing executive at a big company, and she said, you know, they bring me in to clean up a mess, but then when I come out and say, well, we shouldn't be doing this and we shouldn't be doing that.